us what's going on at the airport.
All right.
So that tells us what runway we're using.
Yeah.
It tells us what our altimeter setting is, because as the barometer changes, we have to muck with this.
Yeah.
So we set that.
Yeah.
So the clouds are at 2,600 feet, so we fly at 2,000, we're good with that.
Yeah.
And we're going to use runway 04, which is fine.
Alright, cool.
So where's my little diagram? I'll show you where we go here in the diagram. So here's a picture of the airport, and it's upside down because north is up, but north is that way to us, okay? So imagine us turned around. We're right here at the front of the terminal.
Alright.
So we're going to taxi along taxiway Alpha, they're all letters.
Alright.
And then we're going to cross this runway, we're going to follow Charlie to the end of 04, which is over there.
Alright.
And then we're going to take off going that way. We're going to turn right and go down to GM, turn right, go along to the steel plant, go up along Fixin Road, and then turn in, we're going to land on the same runway, probably go to the end, and taxi in along there.
So what direction is that, east-west?
So that's west.
So that we're taking off east.
And we're going to take off to the northeast side, because you can see due east and west is like that.
Cool.
So we're going to take off to the northeast, and we're going to make right turns, so we get a good view of the ground.
Alright. You ever fly to Pearson?
Not Pearson, no. Flown in Pine.
Mind if I do that? Alright.
So let's just check all these things. Should set the compass or the gyro now, so we're just a little bit this side of south, so we'll set that there.
Alright.
Okay, so now we're going to run up. We've left 5 minutes for the engine to warm up. And this one's the reading, so that's okay. So air is clear. Temperature and pressure are all right. So mixture's going to be rich for our test. And we're on the throttle to 17 RPM. Down to slow idle, make sure the engine doesn't stall at idle.
Alright.
And then we're going to put our carb heat back in, that's all good. Bring her back to our idle between 900 and 1,000 RPM. And we're going to lean again. So that concludes our test of the engine and the magnetos.
Alright.
Make sure. So we have two complete electrical systems, so there's 2 spark plugs per cylinder.
Yeah.
So if one of them failed, we still have the engine completely active.
Alright, nice.
Yeah, it is nice actually. So we're going to check our laps and shoulder belts again. Trim is set for takeoff position. Now, controls. During takeoff and landing especially, we need to have full movement here. So you're just going to have to keep your knees apart. If you keep your toes down, you'll be clear. This is how much the rudders move.
Alright, yeah.
So as long as you get your toes down there, then we're good for that.
Alright.
Once we're up in the air, actually, if there's nobody around, I'll let you play with the rudders too.
Alright, thanks. Cool.
So some final checks. The instruments were all good on. Master's turned on, timer's locked, mags are on both, fuel's on both the fuel tanks, which is just here in the wings near the cabin, showing full, which is correct, temperature and pressure both good. So the engine, everything all about the airplane, we're basically ready to go. So now we're going to talk to ground. Actually, let's turn this thing on. First thing we have to do is talk to ground and get clearance to taxi down to the runway there.
It's all set?
Well, that we don't actually need to set. It's just there to log our time to it, because we're not going to be far enough away from the airport to lose our direction. But it would navigate us back if we wanted to. So I'm going to tell the ground controller that we're here, and he's going to give me instructions. We're going to taxi along Alpha, and then Charlie, and we're going to hold short at the end of the threshold of runway 04. It's basically roughly what we're expecting to tell us. tell us a couple other things. So here's our radio frequencies. So 118.4 is our ground.
Is there a large holding pattern today?
Sorry?
Is there a large holding pattern?
No, there won't be any holding patterns here. We are the pattern. We're all flying around the same Young Eagle circuit, so we won't be doing any holding. Your actual flight is going to be about 12 minutes or so.
Alright.
Oshawa ground, Cessna 172, Golf Mike Whiskey, taxi, Wings Book. So we changed that by a hair, and everything else is as we expected. So we'll give it a little more taxi. So now we're actually taxiing with our feet.
Yeah.
So put your toes forward on the rudder pedals.
Alright.
So push your right foot in. See how the airplane turns to the right?
Yeah.
And if you tip forward on the rudder pedals, that's when you apply the brakes.
That?
So there's one.
Alright.
So we'll straighten it out here. We'll follow this yellow line. We're going to drive on the yellow line, so it's not like a car. So each foot has its own brakes. So you can assist making a really tight corner by pushing hard on one brake and one